Hi, everyone. This is Swami K, and today we're going to be talking a little bit about the power of the full moon. So, as you probably know, the full moon cycle is a very powerful time to make things manifest. The full moon is really the cornerstone in pagan cosmology, representing this period of illumination and potency for completion. So its symbolism and significance is that it symbolizes the peak of the moon's power, and it represents this clarity, this sense of enlightenment, this fullness of life. And it's seen as a time when the veil between the mundane and the spiritual is very thin. So this allows for a deeper connection and insight. The full moon's also often associated with the mother aspect of the triple goddess, and this embodies fertility, nurturing, and creation. The goddess is seen as the moon itself, changing phases, waxing and waning. It's in this continuous cycle of birth, growth, death, and rebirth. So, a lot of pagans believe that the moon exerts this powerful influence on the earth and its inhabitants, in fact, affecting the tides, weather patterns, human emotions, and behaviors. The full moon is a time that we can really amplify these effects, making them stronger and a more potent time for doing magic and transforming ourselves. So there's many full moon rituals out there. I have one posted in my week that I hope you'll take advantage of. But there's all sorts of different full moon rituals that you can take a look at, and they really serve as an opportunity for reflection, release, and manifestation. There's different rituals on the Esbats and the Sabbats, where pagans gather to celebrate and perform magic and honor this lunar energy. Maybe you belong to a group where you get together, in a community setting and practice the full moon ritual together. But if not, I make it here available for you to practice by yourself. So the Sabbats follow this solar candle. The Esbats are specifically timed with these moon's phases. So this full moon is considered an ideal time for spell work related to completion, abundance, and this kind of heightened sense of intuition. A lot of practices involve casting spells for protection, divination, and personal growth. And please visit the reflection section to think about some of these things and how they affect your life and what intention you want to set at this time. The moon is also used to cleanse and charge tools, crystals, sacred objects, things that you're going to place on your altar. Many people will take this moonlight and put their magical tools that they're working with in the moonlight to purify and energize these items and enhance their magical properties. Along with that, the full moon is connected to numerous deities and myths within different pagan traditions, and they each embody a kind of different aspect of this lunar power. So some of these lunar deities are like Artemis, Diana, Selene, and Hecate, and they're often honored during the full moon. These goddesses are revered for their associations with the night magic and the cycle nature of life. And so you may want to call them in specifically when you're practicing your ritual if these deities, speak to you and have a special meaning for you. And of course, there's also a lot of stories of moon deities that highlight these themes of transformation, mystery, feminine power. For example, Selene in Greek mythology is depicted as driving her moon chariot across the sky, illuminating the night with her radiant presence. But different pagan paths emphasize various aspects of the full moon. So not everybody honors the full moon in the same way. So you can adapt these practices to your own traditions and the way that you feel most comfortable. For example, in a Celtic tradition, the moon is linked to the goddess Ceridwen, who embodies wisdom, inspiration, and transformation. And I encourage you to take a look at Ceridwen's story and how she works her magic with Taliesin specifically, who is a bard that brings song and wisdom into Ceridwen births Taliesin into the earth plane so that he can bring these teachings and wisdoms of the full moon. Of course, the full moon provides a time for deep spiritual reflection, personal growth. You want to use the full moon's light as a metaphor for inner illumination. And I talk a lot about this in my yoga practice. If you've done that already, we really talk about how the moon can illuminate our path and provide clarity and insight into your life journey. And this is cyclical, so you have an opportunity in each lunar cycle to renew and restore this clarity and further illuminate your life's journey. So if things didn't maybe go the way as planned during this last lunar cycle, you have the opportunity to begin again. And so this is really a time to progress along the path and set some intentions, envision your future goals, reflect, and just gain clarity on your life. It's also a time to release those negative energies. And you'll notice in my yoga practice, I focused on with the exhale, releasing those negative energies, and with the inhale, inhaling that positive and the illuminating pathway. So as you exhale, and you can do this at any time, not just during yoga practice, maybe you're standing in line at the grocery store, and it's a great time to just link this process to your breath, release those negative energies, old habits, those past traumas. And this process of letting go is viewed as essential for personal transformation and growth, which is why it's a part of our full moon rituals. There's always also this heightened sense of intuition during this time. So the full moon is believed to enhance your psychic abilities and your intuition. It's kind of an auspicious time for divination practices, as I mentioned. So you may even turn more to your tarot readings at this time, scrying, your dream work, recording your dreams in a journal, and really focusing in on those psychic abilities. So modern pagans in many traditions continue to honor the full moon with different practices, as I've said, and they sort of blend ancient and contemporary spirituality. And you'll notice if you belong to a group that each group is different. Maybe you've belonged to a group over a period of several years, and you move, and then you belong to another group, and you'll see that their practices are different. And what they focus on is different. And that's just a drawing in on the nature of what that group is trying to teach you and trying to enhance certain qualities in your practice. So some eclectic rituals that many contemporary pagans create kind of personalize these rituals that incorporate elements from different traditions, like meditation or chanting, or even offerings to lunar deities. There's community full moon circles and gatherings where everybody comes together, celebrates and performs rituals collectively. And so these gatherings really foster a sense of community and shared spiritual experience, but the energy is so much fuller when you have more people. You'll notice that the energy really soars and is uplifted because many people are contributing to the ritual and putting their energies into the ritual. And this is also a time to connect with nature during the full moon. So you want to maybe be outdoors more, take moonlit walks, go to eco-friendly places, and just practice reflecting a commitment to honoring the earth and its cycles. And of course, the full moon plays a significant role in the wheel of the year, and it aligns us with various seasonal celebrations and spiritual practices. Some full moons are in alignment with like the strawberry moon during the time of Litha and different, so pay attention to whether or not, they vary each year, of course, and pay attention to whether or not those full moons are tied to the wheel of the year, because that's going to really energize things even more and make that point of the year stronger than the full moons that are falling at a different time of the year that maybe are not associated with one of the higher holy days. So while the Esbats focus on this lunar cycle and the Sabbats are solar festivals marking the changing of the seasons, full moons that coincide with the Sabbats are seen as especially powerful, as I said. So combining both these energies of lunar and solar together. And then you might also think about seasonal themes. So each full moon throughout the year carries different energies, is influenced by a corresponding season. For example, the full moon near Samhain is associated with introspection and honoring ancestors, but the full moon near Beltane is linked to fertility and celebration. So just to kind of wrap things up here, the full moon in the pagan tradition is multifaceted. It's a symbol of power, transformation, spiritual connection, and it offers you a unique opportunity to align with the natural rhythms of the earth and the cosmos, fostering a deep understanding of yourself and the world. So whether through rituals, mythology, personal reflection, the full moon really inspires us and illuminates the path, and asks us to connect to this ancient wisdom and these timeless traditions. So thank you for joining me today and learning a little bit about the full moon in the pagan tradition. And I hope that this has provided you with some ways to take your practice and have a deeper appreciation for the special time of a full moon celebration.